Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice even now are moving in the might of your strength. Not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory, we give you peace, we give you honor, we give you blessing, we give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you, the fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty. It's yours. I decree it and I speak it In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes You O Cubed. What does O Cubed stand for? One-on-one? Because it's just me and you. I am the spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I want to welcome you today to another edition of Yes You O Cubed. I'm so glad that you joined me here in the Lion's Den because it's another day's journey. And I'm glad about it. Yes, today is Tuesday, November the 14th in the year 2023. And it's a great day to be alive. And it's another day's journey. And I am glad about it. Now, let's get this party started and get this party crack-a-lacking. You all know how we do it in here. We like to go out and see who came in the VIP section. And let's start with number 3 that made it into the Lion's Den. Joanna G98, you did that. Come on, girl. You did it. I can almost guarantee every morning she's going to be, if not the first person in here, she's going to be number 2 or 3. It's almost always guaranteed because, honey, when that clock strikes 7, sister is in the room, and I appreciate you for that. Now, the second person in the Lion's Den this morning was truck driver. That's my Mufasa. That's my brother. Tell 2 palms down and 10 toes up. That's my brother from another mother. I love me some him. And y'all better look out because truck drivers coming on like gangbusters. Oh, he's got something for the world to see. And I can't wait. Listen, I love you, my brother. And thank you for being the second person in the Lion's Den this morning. But the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair is none other than Cassandra Isaiah, otherwise known as Sassy Cassie. Get your lips, hips, and fingertips in that chair. You are the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. You did that, sis. You did that. I appreciate you so much. I do. Come on. Don't you want to go? Love me some you, sis. Love me some you. From Oklahoma, where the wind comes streaming down the Maine. Love it. Woo, I tell you, it is a good day. I love everybody in here, and I appreciate you for coming in this morning. Those are the ones that come in dark and early to make sure there's plenty of love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness in the Lion's Den, and I appreciate them for doing that. Now listen, I want to appreciate my mods right here. I tell you all the time, I got the best mods in the world, and I absolutely do. Shelly Thunder. Yes, Shelly Thunder. I see you, Bishop Ronald B. Andrews. There's my brother. Come on in here. Listen, Shelly Thunder, she'll give you a scripture. She'll pray a prayer of faith, but she'll also block your tail. Yes, and then she's followed by none other than the leader of the pack, the Rebel Inc., my day one, my Ace Boon Coon, who is also a streamer. If you're not following the Rebel Inc., quit your ways. Just quit them. She'll bless your whole life. Then, my goodness, who do we have bringing up the rear? Angel Michelle Brownell, nothing but mad love, because she changes the atmosphere just by being in it. These 3 beautiful ladies are my blessed trinity. I see that model of KK79. I see that model of BTD Mom. Love those ladies to life. Now, as we come around, my mother used to say, when you walk in the room, speak to somebody. So we're going to come around and say good morning to everybody that's in my chat and to those that are not in my chat. I appreciate you taking up space and holding your position here in the Lion's Den, because it's nothing but mad love to you as well. You didn't have to do it, but you did, and you're here, and I want to say thank you, even though you're not chatting. Now, with that being said, Joanna G98, that's my beautifully blessed sister and my beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous friend. Joanna G, thank you and good morning to you. Then Truck Driver, yes, that's my Mufasa. That's my Lion King. Good morning to you, brother. Come on in here. He's always saying good morning to the pastors, sisters, aunties, uncles, and the whole family. Everybody have a blessed day. And you do the same, Truck, and be safe out there in those streets. Then coming on down and I see the Rebel Ink. Yes, the Rebel Ink is here. The Galactic Supervisor is in the house. Good morning to you, sis. Nothing but mad love to you and good to see you in the Lion's Den this morning. Then I got KK Michelle, otherwise known as KK79. She's in Facebook. She's in all the pages of Facebook. She's in Twitch. She's here. She's there. She's everywhere. Good morning to you. You are a beautiful soul, and you know I love me some you. A.M. Harvey, otherwise known as BTD Mom, is also in the room. Good morning to you. And it's good to see you. Nothing but mad love coming to you. That's my biggest, big, beautiful sister. Mad love all day. Mel Holiday's in the room this morning. Good morning to you, Mel. And the blessings of the Lord be upon you as well. Got Bishop Ronald B. Andrews. That's Mr. Integrity. That's my brother from another mother also. Nothing but mad love to you, Bishop Ronald B. Andrews. That's my guy. And I love me some you. And give Georgianne my love as well. Bronx Harlem girl is in the room this morning. It's been a while, sis. It is so good to see you back. Nothing but mad love coming to you. I appreciate you for getting up early this morning to be with us here in the Lion's Den. Mad love to you. Then I see, oh my goodness, Glenda M.H. Groves. That's my beautiful sister. That's my beautiful friend. And all the way from Edwardsville, Kansas. Yes, she's a Texan now, for real. She's been here for a long time. But good morning to you, sis. Nothing but mad love to you. Come on in here. Dr. Daddy Priest is in the room this morning. Listen, she's a streamer, and if you're not following Dr. Daddy Priest, quit your ways. Quit them, because I promise you, she's going to teach you that engagement matters. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm seeing who else is in the room this morning. I think I got everybody that's in my chat up to this point. I love you so much and I appreciate you. Some of you may be in Facebook. Some of you may be, we have several pages out there in Facebook. We've got Twitch running. We've got LinkedIn for all my LinkedIn friends that are here. Appreciate you as well. Or you might be coming from YouTube. Wherever you're coming from, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Lion's Den. And nothing but mad love to you. Now let's get this party crack-a-lacking and get this party started. Because listen, we gonna get in and get out. Woo! When I tell you all, listen, I'm gonna start speaking in tongues. Shelly Thunder. Yes, Shelly Thunder's in the room, and good morning to you. You are precious to my soul. When I tell you, my God, today, since Friday, actually all last week, all the way up to today, currently, I'm telling you, it's been a whole new dimension. I'm loving it. Listen, don't tell me to help myself, Bronx Harlem girl, because I've been on one. I've been on one, and it's no lie. Stacy 546, there's my beautiful, beautiful friend. It's so good to see you this morning, and I love me some you. Come on in the Lion's Den. It has absolutely been some phenomenal times these last several days. God is true to his word, and he's manifesting. Listen, it's all about, we've been talking it, but this is manifestation, and I am so grateful to the Lord. And the miracles, signs, and wonders, the testimonies just keep coming in, y'all. I tell you, I could take almost a whole segment And I might have to do that one day. I could take a whole segment, and some of you all that have been calling and texting and emailing me and telling me about the miracle signs and wonders that have been happening in your lives. I almost need to bring you on the stream and have a good testimony service and let all of y'all testify, because when I tell you God is doing great things, God is doing great things. Before I move on, I want to invite everybody. Listen, we've been having a time. If you're in the Dallas, Fort Worth, Arlington, Frisco, any of the surrounding areas, listen, I'm trying to tell you, Accepted is going on. Accepted is moving and grooving. 6 o'clock on Sunday evenings. Oh my God. And didn't we have a beautiful session on this past week? Oh my God. And we had one sister that gave, listen, and this is the thing I want y'all to understand. God is, while we got all of this caught up in and wrapped up in church and churchiness, there are people out there that are so unchurched. There are people out there that are so not churchy. As we heard this sister share her testimony, her mother was a prostitute, no father in the home, and I could go on and on and on about being raised literally in the streets. And not knowing from day to day where you were going to be, what was going to be going on in your life. The testimony that she shared of her life experience was just, it was astounding. But when you see, how God can take a situation and turn that thing around, and I'm telling you, the folks coming out the streets, honey, they are... Talk about powerful, talk about anointed, talk about full of God. I tell you, the blessing that we got this past Sunday, just listening to the miracle signs and wonders and epiphanies. And this is what I want y'all to understand. And I'm going to get on with the stream, but this is what I want you to understand. While y'all think God is only showing up in the church house, people are having epiphanies in the street. Hey! Please believe what I'm saying. While y'all are out here being testy and religious and passing judgment on folks, God is manifesting and giving folks epiphanies in the street. Baby, while they yet high, while they're yet using, while they're yet A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, A prime to Z prime. Baby, I'm here to tell you, God is showing up and showing out in such a magnificent way. And I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it. And the more that God thrusts us into our real calling, the more God thrusts us out there to the people that he sent us to. Listen, we've been telling you, I understand the assignment. The assignment is to wake up the lions. I know there's a whole lot of sheep out there. It's plenty of shepherds out there, so I'm not worried. But I'm looking for lions. Come on here, Bronx Harlem girl. Don't mess with me this morning, because listen, I come ready and I stay ready. I told you all on Friday, I moved into a space where I'm intentional. I don't even get sidetracked by who, what, where, when, why, and how. I'm like, child, let the dead bury the dead. I've got to go out here to the living, and I've got to go out here and do this assignment that God has given me. So listen, I'm not worried about who got left at the cemetery. I'm out here looking for lions, and I'm excited about what God is doing and how he's doing it. I love everybody. I ain't kicking. Listen, I'm going to tell you what. I don't have that ministry that's kicking folks to the curb, because at the end of the day, whosoever will, let him come. The only way I get separated from people at this juncture is because my frequency and my elevation is higher than they're willing to go. Do you hear what I'm saying? My frequency is higher than they are willing to go. But listen, I'm not coming down. You're going to have to come up. But otherwise, listen, I'm not worried about who is and who ain't. I'm not worried about the folks that left, because the Lord told me, he said, listen, I want you to pay attention to the folks I'm sending. Hey, while you out here talking about who left you, what do you mean? Listen, if they left, they went as far as they could go, and that's it. No skin off of my nose. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at the people that are coming. I'm looking at the people that are gathering, and I'm telling you, I love what God is doing. And again, this isn't a throw off. Y'all know, one thing I've learned about the interneticals, as some people call it, one thing I've learned about the interneticals, it's full of subliminals. But y'all can get submerged with subliminals if you want to. I ain't even worried about subliminals in this hour, honey. Y'all subliminate me all the way down to wherever you want to go. Baby, God is doing too much in this hour to be worried about who sent the subliminal message. That's how folks get paranoid. That's how folks get paranoid. You think everybody talking about you. No, everything ain't about you. You're so vain. Isn't that what somebody wrote that song? I bet you think this song is about you. Baby, I'm not even worried about subliminals in this hour. I'm excited about what God is doing, and everybody is accepted. Eyes fired up, as they say on Rebel Stream. Eyes fired up. So I'm so grateful for what God is doing in this hour, and I'm grateful for each of you that have come in to be a part of this. You mean the world to me, and I appreciate you. I sure enough do. Now listen, let's get this party started and get this party crack-a-lacking, because there's so much to say and so much to be done and so many laughs to have, because I got some tickling in the ribs. I got something for your funny bone in here today a little bit as well. Here we go! Get your coffee cup. Listen, whilst we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, oh my and God, let me tell you what happened. While we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, there's a few things that happened down here, and we're going to discuss them on this morning. Now, today, as I told you, I see your coffee cup, Joanna G. I see your coffee cup. Come on, you better stay lifted. You better get in the spirit. Bronx, Harlem girl, I love me some you. It's good to see you this morning. Now, I'm going to share some things, and I'm going to talk about, and I'm not really going to get as caught up in all of what's going on. You know how I feel about what's going on with this war. You know how I feel about so many things that are happening right now. But at the end of the day, this is what I want us to understand. I see your coffee cup, BTD Mom. I said, Cassandra Woke 2022. There's my girl from Oklahoma, where the wind comes streaming down the main. I see your coffee cup. Stacy 546, I see your coffee cups. Bronx Garland, Harlem girl, I see your coffee cups. Now, this is what I want us to understand. I need you to understand the times. While so many people are distraught about all the things that are going on, I want you to understand that this is a transitional period. This is a season. I see your coffee cup, KK Michelle. This is a serious time where things are being transitioned over. And anytime you go into a major transition, there's a lot of friction and a lot of energy that goes along with that. From the standpoint, even if you understand about a rocket ship that's being launched out into space, there's so much energy that's exerted in such a strong, powerful way. Why? Because you got to break the pull of gravity. There's a lot of fire. You know, the spaceship is actually launched initially with an explosion. This is the explosive period where the explosion is happening. And so many people are not understanding that. And I say this once more and again, because I'm not even of the church realm that's out there. Oh my God, if Jesus don't hurry up and come back, baby, he's transitioning. The wealth of the just, the wealth of the wicked rather, that's being laid and has been laid up for the just. This is the combustion. This is the explosion. This is the fire that's going to make that transfer happen. Watch what I tell you. So as we see all of this going on and everybody else is in a mindset of doom and gloom, I always come back again, Revelation 20. Y'all not talking about the 1,000 years of reign where the deceiver is cast into the pit and chained up for 1,000 years. Y'all ain't talking about the millennium. Y'all done went straight to doom and gloom and hell and damnation and hellfire. Listen, I'm telling you, this is the transition period where we are moving into a time where we're going to see all those demon hordes from hell and understand what they're about, where they came from, where, what, why, when, and how. And we're going to understand the transitioning that's going on right now is not all for the negative. And I need you to get that down in your shondo. So please understand that's not where I'm coming from. I'm going to really deal more so. I'm going to show some stories of different things going on, but I'm not getting ready to get and stay stuck in the nitty gritty of all the trauma drama. Because listen, the time is now for that transition. I am going to share this from a Jewish sister that begins to talk about this is the thing I want us to understand. All Israelis are not in agreement with the genocide that's going on. All Jewish people are not in agreement with the genocide that's going on. And some of you may say, the trouble won't last always, Cassandra Woke. It's happening. I'm that one that I'm going for everybody that wants to be, and I'm going to say this once more and again. I keep screaming it as much as I can from my personal Facebook page. I don't put it on my spiritual thought leader page because there's an issue with what they perceive to be controversial and this and that and the other. But from my personal Facebook page, I've been screaming it from the rafters and from the rooftops. When you are committing what the Geneva Convention and other contracts and covenants have said internationally is a war crime, all of y'all that are caught in this Christian limbo, it's amazing to me. But again, it's not. Those that are caught in this Christian limbo, that these are the children of God and the people of God, and I stand with Israel. The fact that you can see a whole group of people being murdered and obliterated and ethnic cleansing and genocide and stand with those people is troubling to me. It's troubling that you can stand on that side of the equation when international law, and I don't even have to worry about international law. You ain't going to tell me God's law is in accordance with them over there killing all of these people. Women, children, babies that have absolutely nothing to do with Hamas. It's ethnic cleansing and genocide. So at the end of the day, I'm very, very troubled when I look out and I see the Christian community. I don't know what happened to cry loud, spare not, lift up your voice like a trumpet, show my people their transgressions, in the house of Jacob their sins. I don't know what happened to that scripture. It just got obliterated right on out the word, and y'all got caught up and prayed for the peace of Jerusalem, and we stand with God's chosen. Brainwashing. Nonetheless, I just really want to share this, if I may. This particular individual who talks about her family who actually lived through genocide and lived through the Holocaust, and how they are not standing with this behavior on the part of Israel. And again, if you're in that mindset, I just got to ask you to check your theology and check your pulse. Because if those were your children over there, if those were your grandchildren over there, and this is a place that I have to address in the church. When you only care when it involves you, something's wrong. I'm going to say it again. When you only care when it involves you, something is wrong. Something is terribly wrong if that's the only way that you have a feeling and a sensation that something is right or wrong as it relates to you, yourself, and your family and your children. You should care when it's somebody else. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Come on.
Because my family survived the Holocaust, but many did not. My parents were Holocaust survivors. And there's one thing I learned: never again means never again for anyone. We don't condone this, and Netanyahu better stop the bombing of Gaza. You know, this didn't start with Hamas. This started in 1948, when 750,000 Palestinians were removed from where they lived in order to set up a Jewish state. So listen, and these people
to address this issue, as she said, not with our tax money. And this is why I really don't understand Americans that ought to be, in my opinion, jumping up and down and screaming and hollering at this whole debacle. Because our tax dollars are funding something that we have absolutely positively nothing to do with. And we can't get infrastructure, we can't get educational money, we can't get student loans absolved, and we can't get for ourselves what our tax dollars are paying for. And somehow or another, we are so deluded and delusional, we think it's okay to send our tax dollars over someplace to actually fund something that we ain't got nothing to do with, but we do. Because if I go back to my personal page again on my Facebook, and I basically outline President Truman, who made the speech and said, people are trying to understand what's going on. He said, but and this is where the United States has been playing God with a whole lot of people's lives for a long time. Understanding that the whole issue is about our interests in that area, which includes the resources of oil, of cobalt, of natural gas, all of the things that we would love to have. And we as colonizers, and appreciating those who colonize, we align ourselves with them so that we can make ourselves richer off of their resources while the people suffer. That whole concept, yes, it fits the pattern of capitalism, but that whole concept is diabolical in and of itself. And the idea that we have become so entrenched in that idea that we support it, and we, always saving other countries, but we can't buy food over here, Bronx Harlem Girl. Do you understand what I'm saying? We can't buy food. We can't get good health care. We can't get medications. We can't get the things that we need to live and survive, but you can cough up billions of dollars anytime you get ready to go and assist people in committing genocide. Why? It's not about... Listen, if the truth be told, and I put that on my my Facebook as well, Biden said in 1986, if we didn't have an Israel, we'd have to create an Israel. And if for anybody that does not understand that the United States creates governments and sets them up and takes them down, do you understand what I'm saying? If you don't know those basics, I'm not talking conspiracy, I'm not making stuff up. If you don't know those basics about the United States of America, you do not know history, and you do not know how the American government has operated for years and years and years. So at the end of the day, especially after we became a superpower with atomic bombs and atomic warfare, then we really went crazy. So at the end of the day, we have to acknowledge the sins of our own country and how we continue to sin against the world and our role and our part in it. We cannot continue to just hide our faces, put our heads in the sand and act like we didn't do what we did. Black folk, if anybody ought to know, you ought to know, because we're still enduring the mindset and the energy that we wield around in other countries. It's also happening to us. I just can't get no understanding. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm going to leave that alone. But I am going to come over, and not only is there genocide going on, and we're funding it. That's what I want to, I'm going to keep screaming it. And again, this isn't spiritual thought leader making up some stuff. I'm telling you, in the Geneva Convention and all of the other universal human rights covenants that have been made, it's outlined clearly. And we are in direct head-on violation of human rights. So at the end of the day, y'all miss me with that. Y'all can keep on shouting, speaking in tongues, and praying for the peace of Jerusalem. But listen, don't talk to me. There's also genocide going on in Congo. I want to address that, because while we're talking about all of this with the Jewish community, we cannot forget our brothers and sisters who are going through.
What's wrong with your country? Well, we don't even start by saying the King of Belgium created a slave colony for 30 years. The government of Belgium ran the slave colony for another 40 years. The CIA assassinated your first popular leader, Mr. Lumumba, and then installed another dictatorship for the next 30 years. And then Glencore and others now suck out your cobalt without giving you tax income. we don't reflect on that. We say, what's wrong with you? Why don't you govern properly? What's wrong with your country?
Now, with that point right there, I do want and hope that you heard what he said, and he wasn't lying, he wasn't making it up. The CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency of the United States of America, assassinated Lumumba. Now, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's not a lie. That's not made up. That's not listen, the Central Intelligence Agency assassinated Lumumba. As he said, we're not dealing with the fact that not only did Leopold traumatize these people for years, but then they empowered them, the whole country, to continue it on for another 40 years after the 30 years that Leopold did. And now they're continuing now with corporations. And this is the thing, corporations, and while you all are in la 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 land, these major white-led, and I'm going to say, evangelical driven, because they've made white Christian nationalism another arm of their, well, I can't even say they've made, it's always been, because again, that's the energy behind the KKK, that's the energy behind the white supremacist group, MCPA 12, there's my sister, cousin, pastor friend, come on in here, and nothing but mad love to you, and you have a blessed morning as well. So this is what I want you to understand. Corporations have now become, and have been all along, but now we see them, corporations have more power than human beings do. So at the end of the day, when you hear him talking about Glencore, who is now gone over into the Congo and is sucking out their cobalt at astronomical levels, with no money being given back to the country for what it's extracting, just going over and exploiting their resources and sucking it out. And at the end of the day, we've got millions of black bodies in the Congo who have become victims of genocide, and those that are left homeless and without anything. I saw a picture, I don't know if I put this one in or not. I saw a picture the other day of an encampment in Congo. And if you are not feeling something, thank you for those roaring biddies, MCPA 12. We're building something. When I tell you, you see those people standing out there naked. You see those people standing out there just suffering, hungry, no water, no nothing. Really? Really? Michelle Browno, good morning to you. Listen, there's my angel. Come on in here, sis. I love me some you. Good morning to you, and keep on lurking. Now, so back to this point, I think sometimes we are so disconnected from what's actually going on. So you're hearing there's a segment of people that are screaming, just stop the genocide, not only with the Palestinian people in Gaza, but also in the Congo. It's going on as we speak. And one thing that I'll say is this, for all of those that don't care and for all of those standing on the wrong side, wait till it happens to you, because it will. So at the end of the day, you hear me when I say it, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I almost want to say, especially to the black church, I really can't understand it from the black church, because we already oppressed. Don't y'all come snotting and crying and we need to pray and everything else when it starts getting at that level. Oh, it's already happening, but not at the level where it's so open and flagrant as the genocide that we see going on with these individuals. But don't y'all start snotting and crying and we need to pray and da-da-da-da-da-da, because you reap just what you sow. And y'all sowed that. That's all I'm going to say about that. Y'all sowed that with your wicked and evil selves. So get ready, as Bishop Jakes would say. But honey, you have no idea. When the shoe is on the other foot, Joanna G, don't y'all start snotting and crying and want folks to pray. Because when you had a chance to stand up and call wrong and right, what did I say we got from all of y'all in the name of your religion. This is what we got from y'all. And I'll say it and I'll scream it from the rafters. Crickets! That's what we got from you. Bronx Harlem girl, thank you for those roaring biddies. We're building something, and I really am. While I'm tearing down some of these old mindsets and some of this old energy, which a lot of it is based in ignorance, you all. Just straight up ignorance. People don't know the issues. They don't know the history. They don't know the backstory. They don't know what's been going on. Like I said, you go out there and listen to Harry S. Truman out of his own mouth where he talked. And you could tell even in his conversation, he wasn't for Israel. Israel is serving a purpose for the United States. Please understand that. It ain't that we so upset about the Holocaust and we love our Jewish brothers and sisters. Israel is serving a purpose for the United States. And once they no longer serve that purpose, they ain't gonna care about Israel either. While y'all out there praying for the peace of Jerusalem, I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. At the end of the day, Michelle Brownell sent us this, and I'm gonna play this clip. Thank you, sis.
A real life guardian angel. You're about to meet a woman who was fired from her job as a correctional officer after helping a young pregnant mom at a Louisiana prison. Roberta Bell is her name, and as you're about to see, her incredible act of sacrifice is just the first step in her journey toward giving back. Lead national correspondent David Begnaud explains.
You got your bed made up? Got your book bag?
Roberta Bell is the kind of woman who wears her heart on her sleeve.
Hey, Mom Bun, you ready?
Heck, she'd give it away in a heartbeat. She's 58 years old, lives in Vicksburg, Mississippi, and is raising 5 of her 8 grandchildren.
Come on, Jay.
And recently, there was another child who she took care of.
And there was an inmate there that needed assistance, some help. She was pregnant.
Bell met that inmate, Katie Bourgeois, at the Louisiana Transitional Center for Women. It is a prison where Bell worked as a correctional officer.
Situations in her family led her to where she didn't have anyone to really get her baby. And she wanted someone that would just keep the baby until it was her time to get out, because she only had like about 2 months to serve.
Bell says she alerted her supervisor, and he warned her it was a conflict of interest. She says the supervisor later asked her,
"Are you going to still go through with it?" I say, "If the hospital called me to come get that baby, I'm going to get that baby." And he said, "Well, okay, I'm going to have to terminate you."
The way she sees it, the prison gave her a blessing. 1 week after she was fired, Bell got a call. The baby was born.
I started taking pictures. I started snapping pictures. He was so precious. When I put his clothes and stuff on him, and I held him for a little while. They buckled him down in the seatbelt. We left and came home.
And Katie had named him
Kaysen. And I was so amazed because my grandson's name is Kaysen.
Really?
Yes.
Did that feel like a God wink moment?
It did, and I said, "Lord, this must be you."
As word spread, her living room became loaded with diapers and baby formula.
And when I tell you, David, God provided so much stuff. People came by, agencies called. It was just overwhelming, really, because I couldn't do it by myself. I couldn't. That was part of my ministry that I'm getting ready to start.
Where are you taking me?
To the Serenity House.
Serenity House, as she calls it, is a double-wide trailer in the middle of rural Mississippi that she plans to make a transitional home for women leaving prison.
When do you think you'll have it ready?
I'm hoping it'll be ready before the first of the year. Because them ladies calling me.
And
You'll be able to house 6 women in here.
Yes.
Okay.
it is one way she plans to continue what she says was best about working at that prison.
You love the job?
Oh, yeah.
Why'd you love it?
I loved it because it gave me a chance to talk to the women and to encourage them and to get them to go into a better direction and to let them know what they have done is bad, but they can do better.
Even with her admirable aspirations, she still had to work. So after she was fired, she took a job sorting cans at a food distributor. But that was only after she stayed home to take care of little Kason.
For 2 months, you raised that baby.
For 2 months, I raised him, yeah. I loved him as he was my own, and I still love him today.
On the 4th of July this year, Katie Bourgeois was released from prison. She went right to Roberta Bell's home to get her son.
She was kind of, a little nervous because he didn't really know her. And she said, he's crying, Miss Bell. I said, well, baby, he's got to get used to you all over again.
Gotta meet you, Mama.
Yeah.
Katie said at the time,
I can't thank her enough for everything she's done. He's doing great.
What is the lesson for other people watching this story?
The lesson is, don't be afraid to step out and believe what's in your heart and know that God is going to take care of you.
Even if it's breaking a rule?
Even if it's breaking a rule.
Was it the right thing to do?
Oh, it was definitely the right thing to do. And if I had to do it all over again, I would do it.
yes, the prison fired her for it, but the public rewarded her. You see, people everywhere were so touched by this story that they donated $90,000 to the lady with the big heart who rescued that tiny soul, his guardian angel, still moved by the lullaby that brought both of them heavenly peace.
I want to walk in the newness of life. Just let me be a follower of Christ. And he go to sleep. I sang him to sleep.
That's sweet. That's sweet.
I love that, Miss Bell. Listen, Kason is doing very well this morning. He is currently living in foster care. As for the prison where Miss Bell worked, they did not return our calls for comment. One more thing about Miss Bell. 2 months ago, there was another inmate at that same prison who gave birth to a baby, and Miss Bell paid for that inmate's mother to be driven to the hospital in Northeast Louisiana to pick up the baby and take the baby back home. It was another way she was using the donations she got to help others.
Wow, gosh, David, I mean,
twists and turns.
so many twists.
That's what I'm talking about. Boss energy. Boss energy. I love it. I love it. I love it. Woo! I tell you. That's what I'm talking about. That's the energy that's being released, Bronx Harlem Girl, BTD Mom, Stacy 546, MCPA 12. That's the energy that's being released. While there are so many people that are concerned about how I can shine and the light, shine a light on me. You know, I saw something the other day that just spoke volumes to me. You get a light and glow from the inside. You don't need somebody to shine a light on you. Hello. What did I say? And can I say it again? You get a glow and a love of God that comes from the inside of you. And you don't need nobody to shine a light on you. While everybody's worried about it's my time to shine and please shine a light on me. Baby, just shine from the inside. The beauty of this test, I said what I said, Dimples. Good morning to you. Nothing but mad love. Come on in here. That's the reason why folks need somebody to shine a light on them, because they're dim on the inside. Ain't no light in there to shine. Listen, get a glow, get a burning fire, get a love and a passion on the inside of you. You don't need anybody to shine a light on you. So at the end of the day, this is the kind of stuff. And she didn't do this for the accolades. She didn't do this for the press. She didn't do this for the celebrity. This was genuinely and purely from her heart. I want to say this to some people that are in here, because some of you know that your heart is pure in what it is that you're doing. I don't care what people say. I don't care what people accuse you of. Listen, they lied on Jesus. They gonna lie on you. If I had money For the many times folks have lied on me, I'd be absolutely positively rich right now today. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, what matters is the purity of your heart, the purity of who you are. You got those almost like I was sitting and I was thinking about, she took a risk and won, Bronx Harlem girl. This is some real talk in here. I want you to be true and pure to whatever it is that God has given you, not for the purpose of trying to get somebody to shine a light on you and for your own personal. This woman just loved. This woman just had a heart of gold and operated in that, even to the point of losing her job. I listened and very astutely heard when they said she ended up, after she finished caring for the child, going to a recycling center to take in cans, which for many of us would be like, oh, that's so humbling. You went from this to that. You went from a job in the prison to gathering cans at the aluminum center for recycling. And this may be a journey that some of you may see in your own lives, in your own world, Joanna G, where you take a stand for what you believe in, whatever your passion is about, and it may seem like you're going backwards. It may seem like you're going down. It may seem like things are falling apart. Stay true to you and stay true to the God in you. Stay true to the purity that's in you. Stay true to the genuineness, because listen, there are a lot, and this is how, I'm going to just say it. You can tell somebody that's genuine because they create from within. When you see imitators and those that are constantly copying, understand that there lacks that ability to be genuine and have their own. So this is where we look at, and when I thought about that, I was doing something the other day and I had to chuckle. I had to chuckle to myself, Joanna. I had to chuckle. Come on, Dr. Dady. I had to chuckle. And I was looking at a situation and I said, my God, today. And it was a situation where I really had to look at, and this story took on a whole new meaning for me, you all. Y'all remember when Moses went to Pharaoh and he told him, God said, let my people go. Pharaoh and his magicians and his royal court laughed him to scorn. And so Moses did his sign and miracle signs and wonders, #MSW, and he threw his rod down and it turned it. Interestingly enough, what did the rod turn into? A snake, a serpent. So, and that's symbolic right there, y'all. So you have all of this that people began to, the snake crawling on the ground, and they began to imitate. Because then what did Pharaoh's magicians do? They came along, they put their rods and threw them down. And what did they do? They imitated. They copycatted. They took what Moses did and tried to recreate it. But at the end of the day, this is the reality of it right here. While they tried to imitate it, while they tried to copycat it, at the end of the day, what happened? Moses' rod swallowed up Pharaoh's magician's rods. And this is what I want you to understand and have this security in and of yourselves. Do not worry about the folks that are copycatting. Do not worry about the folks. And I tell you, when I looked at that, I saw that story in a whole new light. I'm not lying. I saw it in a whole new vision. And the Lord said, that's why we go so many other places with that. God said, I want you to get the reality in 2023 of what that symbolically is saying to you. When you begin to move in your calling, when you begin to move in what you are given as your passion, as your movement, as the gifting that God has given you, you're going to have all kind of Pharaoh's magicians that are going to throw their stuff down and try to imitate and copycat what God has given you. But at the end of the day, you cannot tell me that while they try to imitate it to a T, I promise you, and this isn't a matter of negativity that I'm speaking, but this is what I'm trying to get you to understand, the symbolism of what this is representing. Your serpent, your rod is still gonna, listen, and even the idea, what's in your hand? Come on, somebody. There can only be one me, Joanna G. Come on and talk, Dr. Dady. There can only be one me. So this is what I want you to understand. What's in your hand? This woman was going to work every day, just doing her job. And at the end of the day, come on, Dimples, at the end of the day, she took what was in her hand. And that looked like an ordinary everyday rod. But when she cast it out there, and this is the place that some of you all need to move. Cast your rod out there. Cast your rod out there. Do not withdraw. Do not be intimidated. Do not worry about where the resources are going to come from. Do not worry about who's going to support me and who's going to follow me. I'm going to even say this to some of you. Don't even worry about who's going to leave you, because folks are going to leave. Listen, focus. I need you to focus. I need you to understand the reality, because for the ones that leave, 10 million more are going to come. You worried about who left. I need you to start setting your vision for who's coming, because they're coming and you need to be ready for them while you're sidetracked, while you're off focus looking at who left. I need you to pay attention to who's coming, because those are the ones that matter to you and what God has given you. You just need to go ahead and cast your rod, as ordinary as it looks. Some of y'all like, but what I'm talking about is so simple. What I'm talking about is so basic. What I'm talking about, it's not grandiose. Listen, throw your rod out there. Listen, there's a woman that has an international organization right now. And y'all see what happened even in this story. $90,000 overnight. $90,000 in cash. Then you had all of the resources that were needed for that child to be taken care of. I'm telling you, cast your ordinary everyday rod, your ordinary everyday self, cast yourself out there and see if God does not open up the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that you won't even have room to receive. Oh my God. Listen, y'all, I mean this thing with everything that's in me. Because listen, I'm in the moment. I'm in the season. I'm in the time. I don't have time to look around and look at the past. I don't have time to look around at this one and I don't have time for that foolishness. I told you I'm intentional. I'm intentional about what I'm doing, because this is the season of manifestation. Put your stuff out there. Woo! My God, today. And stop worrying about what you're not. Stop worrying about what you don't have, because God will open up the windows of heaven. Oh my God, today. I'm reminded of a woman that has a national organization that is sweeping the country. And some of y'all ain't gonna get with this, because some of y'all still homophobic. But I'm gonna tell you how because God has somebody for everybody. Oh my God, MCP, let it rain and you rain. Woo, girl. Don't get me started, because I feel it already stirring in my shondo. Oh my God, today. Listen, this woman, and there's somebody for everybody, because God doesn't leave anybody out. God doesn't leave anybody out. While the church folk want to say, no, not you. You not the one. You can't this and you can't that. God has somebody for them. Hear me when I say it. And so at the end of the day, Dr. Dady, so much love to you, and the blessings of the Lord go with you. At the end of the day, I want you to understand this. I want you to understand this. This woman had gone somewhere, and she was a mother. And she had gone somewhere with her LGBTQ plus child. I'm trying to get y'all to understand some things here. And she went with that LGBTQ plus child to the event. It was a gay pride parade. And she held up a sign because she talked to a couple of the individuals that were there, and they talked about how ostracized and how
Thank you for the sub. We're building
thank you,
something.
Crazy Berrytown. Come on in here. There's my beautiful friend. Crazy Berrytown is a streamer, y'all. 28 months long. We're building something. She's a streamer, and if you're not following Crazy Berrytown, quit your eyes. Just quit them, because she's going to bless your whole life. That's my girl, and I love me some you. Flirt. Listen, Flirt still got me flying high. That testimony that Flirt gave on Friday, I'm still flying high. Good morning to you, and nothing but blessings and love coming to you. Quit them, Crazy Berrytown. Now, this is what this woman did, and I'm still piggybacking off of this story of how this woman and she moved forth in her ministry, and the Lord opened the door. Y'all saw that. You saw the video. That is so powerfully beautiful. Then we had to enhance that and support that. This particular mother, and I'm just going to tell this story because I don't have the clip on it. Whew, she went to a gay pride with her child. And that's a statement right there. Because listen, all of y'all holier than thou, supposed to be Christians, that disown your flesh and blood because they're LGBTQ plus listen, I'm going to tell you what. That is your child. And I do not understand you talking about you love God and the love of God dwells in you and you disowning your children. Let me calm down. Because listen, at the end of the day, God ain't in that. Y'all can jump, shout, speak, spit, speak in tongues and everything else. God ain't in that. I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. Now, at the end of the day, the children that she encountered, she was hearing the same resounding story over and over again of how they were disowned by their families and their peers. And so as she stood and went out to the parade, she made a handwritten sign that was just, listen, at straight BS, MCP 812, straight. From the gates of hell and the pits of hell that you trying to send everybody else to, you in hell yourself. Now, I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. So at the end of the day, she made a sign, and she said, free hugs to anybody that needs one. No. I missed a major point. Free mama hugs from anybody that needs one. Free mama hugs for anybody that needs one. Simple as that. Cardboard piece of paper, magic marker, handwritten, nothing fancy. Good morning, Barbara Hardy. There's my These Are They friends. I love me some you. And I told y'all the other day, one of the things I really love about Barbara Hardy in the ministry of These Are They, as she said, they were criticized and ostracized because they had homosexuals, LGBTQ plus community in their choir. And at the end of the day, they are hands down the baddest choir you ever wanted to hear. And even after 52 years of service, those babies can still sing heaven down. And you ain't gonna tell me, honey, Holy Ghost all over it while y'all going a whole bunch of places. But nonetheless, a very dope lady, Bronx Harlem girl. And listen, this is what I'm still on this idea, and I want to share with you the concept of it doesn't take a whole lot. Just cast your rod down and let it transform. Cast your rod, you may see it as nothing. Cast your rod down and let it transform. That sign became a gold mine just from a simple sign and a simple hug. She put that sign up and she said she was so overwhelmed because people were coming in droves from the gay pride parade. They were coming in droves. She said they just began to embrace, and she said they were weeping and crying because they had the hug of a mother that they hadn't had for years and years and years, or however long it had been since they came out LGBTQ+. When I tell you that hug, I wish I had the clip to show it to you. I wish I had the, I may have to try to hunt and find it. That hug and that little sign launched her. She said she had no idea. And now that organization is international. Now that organization employs people by the thousands, all because she stood on a corner at a gay pride parade with a sign.
Thank you for the sub.
Here, Dimples.
We're building something.
Thank you for that resub, because we're building something. Bronx Harlem Girl, BTD Mom, do you hear what an international organization was birthed from her standing at a gay pride parade on the corner. Now, this ought to be a shame to all the millions of churches we got across the brotherhood. And we can't, is there one? Is there one? Y'all can't get one. Is there one? But you want to be judgmental. You want to be ugly. You want to be uptight. You want to be snotty. Listen, the sinners didn't have a problem with Jesus, and Jesus didn't have a problem with the sinners, as y'all wanted to call them. The folks that had a problem with Jesus were the religious folk. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. It was the church folk that had an issue with Jesus. Jesus loved the sinners, and the sinners loved Jesus. And there's something twisted about this new theology that y'all got that excludes people anytime you get ready to exclude somebody, as if you got some place to exclude somebody from. Anyway, let me get back to my point. She threw down her simple rod, which was a piece of paper, a poster board, with a magic marker that said to people that needed it, "Mama hugs over here," for anybody that needs one. Do y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? And that sign, as simple as it was, launched a whole international organization. I want to say it's something like Moms Give Hugs, something real simple. I need to look it up, and I need to see if I can find it. Moms Give Hugs. And why did it become a thriving ministry? And you heard what this lady said even here, that it was a ministry. Her taking that child, it was a ministry. Stacey, you know that line was a mile long. Let me tell you what. I'll say a family member. I won't disclose because I don't have permission to, but I want to tell the story. I have a family member.
Thank you for the sub.
Come on, KK79. Thank you. We're building something. Love that mom. Love that mom. And you totally do that. Come on, Crazy Berrytown. Because at the end of the day, she tapped into something that needed to be given. These babies needed a mom hug. I'm gonna tell you, my family member has a child that's LGBTQ+, and they went to visit, and while they were there, her son is a performer, and so she went to the performance with him, which was at an LGBTQ+ club. And she said when she got there, so many of the individuals, hugs are so important, Joanna G. Just simple touch. Oh my God. And let me say, while we're talking about the simple touch, thank you, freemomhugs.org. Thank you, Bronx Harlem Girl. Thank you for that. She done went out there and found it. Thank you. And put the link in the chat because some of y'all might want to hook up with that. I'm here for it. I support. This is STL. This is the spiritual thought leader, and I support that message and that organization. Now, at the end of the day, Shelly Thunder, thank you for the roaring biddies. And you all have started a hype train. Thank you so much. You never have to, but I appreciate it. But listen, I'm telling you, we're building something. We ain't in here just collecting. We are building something. Please believe it. And thank you for those roaring biddies, Shelly Thunder. I love me some you. K2 Hoop, good morning to you. You're in the room. Come on in here, and nothing but mad love to you. BTD Mom, thank you for the roaring biddies. Joanna G, that's what I was getting ready to say. Some of us need to take that same concept and hear me loudly. Come on, it's a roaring hype train. Come on, MCP, thank you for the roaring biddies. Come on, Baby Dolly calls me. Thank you for the resub. We're building something. Kim Blue, come on, the one and only Keisha Key, ASL Princess. I think somebody dropped a gifted sub. Thank you. Katrini, come on in here. Good morning, and thank you for that. I love you all. Now listen, this is what I want you to understand. We see that, and Joanna G said touch is very important. Some of our senior citizens are out in various and sundry places longing for a hug. Do you longing for human contact and human touch? Do y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Some of our elders, and even when I say elders, I can look at some people my age, in my 6th decade of life. I can look at people my age, if they just had some human touch. And y'all out here running around building bigger churches and getting jet planes, and I need a bigger car, I need a certain watch, I need a certain kind of shoe to put on my foot so I can represent as the man and the woman of God. People are out here suffering and y'all ain't doing nothing. Something as simple, come on MCP 812, this is real talk. Something as simple as human touch. Something as simple as pick up the phone and call. Something as simple as I'm still here on the face of the earth, even though a lot of my friends and families have gone on and transitioned away from this plane, from this terrestrial. I'm still here and I have no touch. I'm still here and I have no conversation. I'm still here and I have no company. I'm still here and I don't get a phone call. Baby, cast your rod out there. Somebody needs you. And y'all worried about how grandiose it is. Simple things. Listen, I'm going to say this about Rhonda Willingham, making it count, the homeless program that she's doing here in Dallas that is stellar. Believe me when I say as a matter of fact, she just got an award and I think she's going to be in one of the magazines. Come on, call your mom every day, Bronx Harlem girl. But there are some parents out there that don't have anybody to call them. There are some people out there that don't have any children. If you're like me, I don't have any birth children. I got some spiritual and some adopted children, but I don't have any birth children. But at the end of the day, there are some people out there that just need simple touch. Good morning, baby doll, he calls me. Nothing but mad love to you. I appreciate you for listening and lurking. Mad love, mad love, mad love. And thank you so much for that gifted sub. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Dimples, for those gifted subs. And so much mad love to you. We're building something. Thank you for the roaring biddies, BTD Mom. We're building something. And we talk about, is there a ministry to be done? Is there something I can do? Baby, it's so much to be done. Simple things. Do y'all understand the words coming out? But no, it's my time to shine. We want something to, and I'm going to say it once more and again. While you telling everybody to shine the light on me, if you had a light on the inside, if you had a fire and a passion on the inside, you could glow from within instead of trying to get somebody to shine the light on you from without. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. Because we're definitely in a time and a season where everybody wants the light to shine on me. Honey, folks out here lying, skitting, and scamming and everything else, trying to get the light to shine on them. They out here pretending it ain't even the real them. They out there putting stuff out there trying to make it look like this is me. And it ain't even them trying to build and trying to get the light to... Baby, just let the light shine from you that God has put in you. and you don't need somebody to shine the light on you. Am I talking to anybody this morning? There's so much to be. Need a hug. FreeMomHugs.org. Thank you, Shelly Thunder. Listen, I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. So many people are being deceived. Listen, I've gotten so, listen, when I get on all of these social platforms and all this media, I told y'all I pays attention. And I do have the spirit of discernment. I do have the spirit of discernment, and I ain't got to apologize for it. I can tell when folks are phony. I can tell when folks are acting. I can tell. And listen, they just be duping y'all all the way to the bank. Come on in there, Monica. Thank you for that resub 10 months in a row. Miss Riz, thank you for 4 months in a row. DJ James Dark Knight, thank you. If somebody dropped a gifted sub, thank you for that. Come on, KK79 gave out 5 community gifts. Thank you for that. DJ Pifu got one. Get Baba D got one. KK79, thank you for. I told you we got evangelists in the room, y'all. At the end, it's casino time. At the end of the day, Bronx Harlem girl, I love me some of you. At the end of the day, you got folks out here just putting on. Woo! Yeah, I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. Cleaning your pockets and your pocketbooks. And they know how to finesse that thing. They know how to listen. They know how to cry on cue. They know how to listen. They know how to look and act and talk and walk. And at the end of the day, deceivers. And y'all eating it up. Let me keep moving. There are so many things that need to be done. So many simple things that we can answer and fit the bill and fill in the gap. I wanted to show that. And thank you, Michelle Brownell. Michelle Brownell is the one that gave that to me. Thank you, Michelle. And listen, I realize it's only one STL. So, the Lord said, what are you tripping about? And that I promise you, because sometimes you can get a little disturbed, you can get a little peeved, you can get a little irritated, but it's all about your focus. Because listen, when the Lord was like, what do you think the story of Moses and the magicians and the rods was about? Copycatters trying to imitate miracle signs and wonders. But you ain't got to worry about copycatters trying to perform miracle signs and wonders, because at the end of the day, your rod is going to swallow all of them rods. And it's hear me when I say it's not about competition. It's not about arrogance. Y'all, one thing you got to pay attention to, your energy and your attitude. Hear me. You got to pay attention to your energies and your attitudes. What energy and what attitude are you coming forth with? What energy and what attitude are you manifesting from? You hear what I'm saying? You don't need nobody to stand out and judge you. Check your own heart. Check your own heart. Check your own energy. Check your own mind. Check your own mindset. Often imitated but never duplicated. Come on, Joanna G. You better talk to me. Check your own energy. Everybody that wants to read everybody else, read yourself. Are you reading you? Reading Rainbow. Are you reading you while you reading everybody else? This is the place that we come to where it really begins to manifest. What energy and what spirit am I of? And at the end of the day, there's only one you. Come on, the real STL has stood up MCP and 812, and I ain't no shame in my game. Mind your mood, your mind and moods. Come on here, Bronx Harlem girl, you better talk. Thank you for that resub. We're building something. Mind your mind and moods. There's a word there. There's a word there. You better talk to me, Bronx Harlem girl. And this is not a throw off, because I want to say that Anna Joe Jones, good morning to you, sis. So much mad love to you. I appreciate you for being in the Lion's Den. This is the thing I want to say here too, because you know what? The subliminals and the throwing off on internet, I'm done with that too. Miss me with that. I don't have the time, the patience, nor the energy for it. At this point, do what you do, make it good, and just keep it moving. You know, if you got to stop every 2 seconds to throw off on somebody, this is not a throw off. I'm really trying to say these things to help you because I want you to be everything that God has created you to be. K2 Hoop, thank you for that resub, sis. We're building something. And I want to say thank you to all of you all for that beautiful, beautiful hype train, that roaring hype train, because we're building something in here. So even whether it's the woman that threw down her rod and God launched that into a double wide trailer that's serving women and taking care of babies and money that came in and flooded as well as the resources, or whether it's Moms Give Hugs. Is that the name of it? I think she put it in a couple of times. You have something in your hand. Everybody that's in here. Thank you, KK79 gave that gifted sub, and K2 who I appreciate it. You have something in your hand that the universe is ready to transform it if you would just cast it out there. And you don't have to worry about it being imitated. You don't have to worry about it being duplicated. Because, baby, it will stand on its own. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? It will stand on its own. And you don't have to fight anybody for it. You don't have to fight anybody about it. All you got to do is just flow. Now, I'm going to keep it going. But, honey, that story right there, it lit my fire. And Michelle knows how to get me going. She absolutely positively knows how to get me going because I love it. Now, I want to, I'm definitely in the mood about money because we're coming into a place where the transition is happening. I'm going to play this one first. And this one, this brother, he poses some things out here to the Black community for us to answer. And we need to answer to. I want to play this real quick, fast and in a hurry. I'm going to try not to commentate a lot because I do have something else that I want to talk about today. It's not quite 8:30, but we're heading there. But this right here, let's listen.
Black and beautiful means nothing unless you're black and powerful. Let's just get that straight. You cannot be black and proud and niggas too, okay? That white folks are planning for 3 generations and we're planning for Saturday night, right? Because all brothers and sisters is to win, not to look like we're winning. I would rather carry a plastic bag with $5,000 in it than to carry a $5,000 Louis Vuitton bag with $100 in it. Louis Vuitton winning, Nike is winning, Gucci is winning, Armani is winning. You ain't winning. We are the consumption class, they are the merchant class. They make stuff, we buy stuff. It is interesting to me that the rich stay rich by pretending to be poor, and the poor stay poor by pretending to be rich. And all the statistics tell us this. The Institute of Policy Studies, April 2017, the Economic State of Black America said, and I give you the final quote from that 300-page study which no Negro read, that by 2053, 10 years after the majority becomes the minority, if nothing changes among African Americans, household median wealth will be 0. In effect, we will have worked our way into a second slavery. Try to operate in a market-based economy and a democratic capitalistic society without money. Let's see how that works for you. And ain't nobody fixing us but us. White people are not fixing black people. It's been 400 years and we ain't fixed. I'm not even thinking about black people. And I'm not hating on white people. I'm just telling you, you know who white people are thinking about? They're thinking about white people. They're thinking about their wives, their children, their communities, their schools, their businesses, and your pockets. That's what they're thinking about. Black and beautiful means nothing unless
I'll play that again.
Let's just get that straight. You cannot be black and proud and niggas too, okay? That white folks are planning for 3 generations and we're planning for Saturday night, right? Because all brothers and sisters is to win, not to look like we're winning. I would rather carry a plastic bag with $5,000 in it than to carry a $5,000 Louis Vuitton bag with $100 in it. Louis Vuitton winning, Nike is winning, Gucci is winning, Armani is winning. You ain't winning. We are the consumption class, they are the merchant class. They make stuff, we buy stuff. It is interesting to me that the rich stay rich by pretending to be poor, and the poor stay poor by pretending to be rich. And all the statistics tell us this. The Institute of Policy Studies, April 2017, the Economic State of Black America said, and I give you the final quote from that 300-page study which no Negro read, that by 2053, 10 years after the majority becomes the minority, if nothing changes among African Americans, household median wealth will be zero. In effect, we will have worked our way into a second slavery. Try to operate in a market-based economy and a democratic capitalistic society without money. Let's see how that works for you. And ain't nobody fixing us but us. White people are not fixing black people. It's been 400 years and we ain't fixed. We're not even thinking about black people. And I'm not hating on white people. I'm just telling you know what white people are thinking about? They're thinking about white people. They're thinking about their wives, their children, their communities, their schools, their businesses, and your pockets. That's what they're thinking about. Black and beautiful means nothing.
And he said what he said. Now, let me say this. When I got out into the world and I started moving about, and I did have some friends that were of affluence, and it was my first opportunities to be in neighborhoods where the houses were spectacular, blow your mind spectacular, just amazing. Everything manicured, everything in its spot, everything just stunningly gorgeous. But then at the end of the day, what I did learn is that most of the people that had that kind of money looked like Joe Blow on the street with the t-shirt and some cheap little looking, now all of them wasn't cheap, but some cheap looking, pants or jeans or whatever. As he said, the rich people get it by appearing to be poor, and poor people lose it by trying to look like we're rich. I observed something during that time and season of life, and I got to go, and I'm talking about these were senators and Congress people and athletes that were making millions of dollars and pro ballers, and I was blessed to have a long season of my life where I was able to go into those places on a regular as my friends and just knock on the door, sleep in their house, sleep in their bed, lay out on the credenza, I can't think of what the thing was called. I can't think of it, but it go out in the gazebo, sit out and chill, and what did I learn as one of my biggest lessons? They're not trying to look wealthy. They are wealthy. When they go out the house, they're not dressing like what we look like when we come out the house. Matter of fact, I'll even say this. I began to find where they were shopping, and they're not spending the money. Please hear me when I say this. They're not spending the money that we're spending. I was flabbergasted at the difference between the way that they lived and operated and the way that I saw, especially middle class black families trying to live and operate. It's the difference between night and day. Now, with that also came some areas of prestige because a lot of things were just given to them because of who they were and what they were. But at the same time, when I did observe what they were buying and where they were buying it from, and it wasn't no shabby places that they were buying it from, they just bought from places that gave deep discounts. And while y'all out here paying full price for the things that they have that they're paying deep discounts for, my mouth was left hanging open. And so I saw for the first time, and I would say I was in my late teens, early 20s, into my 30s when I was in that particular segment of individuals that had that kind of wealth and that kind of ability and financially. And then also the difference between how they spend their money, because you may get a windfall of $300, $700, $1 million and we get a windfall, and what we spend our windfall on and what they spend their windfall on. As a matter of fact, let's deal with the reality. 9 times out of 10, they were not going to spend their windfall. That windfall went to some place where it was making money. Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? Whereas we'll get a windfall, and every dime, every penny, every ounce, every iota of it is spent immediately. And I looked and I observed the difference between how we operate. When you were in the military, you worked with an officer and his car looked like he drove all... He said even though he had money, there was no need to use it wastefully on items for show. And that's the mentality, K2. That's exactly the mentality. They're not spending money to show. They're not spending money to show off. And unfortunately, we get into this mindset of consumerism. And like he said, they are the merchants, we are the consumers. We can keep preaching this to the black community, and I'm telling you, the black community, when you increase in your income, you tend to increase in your consumerism. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. When you increase in your income, you increase in your consumerism. And at the end of the day, you will live from paycheck to paycheck. I don't care how big that check gets. Houston, there is a problem. I'm going to say it once more and again. Now, that being said, I'm not saying live like paupers and like you, but spend your money on what you need to spend your money on. And a lot of this stuff we don't need to spend our money on, especially when you look at if something were to happen, and they always say have a nest egg at least 6 months to a year, that if everything in your world went wrong and everything in your world fell apart, make sure that you have at least 6 months to a year in savings where you could still survive off of that income. Then we really need to stop and say, do I have this as real disposable income? Not spending money on items that depreciate as soon as you walk off the lot and out the store is huge, Joanna G. And that car is definitely going to do that. That car, I don't care how you keep it up. I don't care how you shine it. I don't care how, yes, do the maintenance and all of that. It depreciated thousands of dollars when you drove it off the lot immediately. But then when I look at what you have in assets that appreciate, when I look at whether you own a home, when I look at whether or not you have life insurance, when I look at as products, not as to get me buried, when I look at all of these other areas, do we have any of that? And what level of that do we have? And it begins to scream, do I really have this as disposable income? Is this really if something were catastrophically to happen to me, could I survive for 6 months to a year with absolutely positively no income? Question. So this brother is hitting on a point that for many of us, I know that we can say, and I'm not attempting to be insensitive here. You can't pay your mortgage, but you got a Gucci bag, Bronx Harlem girl. And I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I've had a season of being Stillman First National Bank. And I finally had to say the bank is closed. I had a season where people knew when my pay period was better than I did. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I mean, I had a season when, didn't you get paid today? And somebody literally said that to me, which actually finally slapped me in my face. How do you know my pay period better than I do? Now, even the idea that you're out buying everything that you want for fun, but then when your necessities come, oh yeah, Joanna G, I did, and I had to, baby, she slapped me to reality when that child came to me and literally was like, didn't you get paid today? Something down in my shondo. Ding, 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 ding. And so at the end of the day, the realities of how we operate in our communities. And there are some people, I told one baby, I love him to death. I said, but you will forever be poor. And I'm not trying to speak something negative over your life, but I'm going to tell you based on your behaviors, because you are forever robbing Peter to pay Paul, and you will always owe somebody. When something comes in your hand, you really don't have anything coming in your hand. You owe it out. So at the end of the day, I said, you are really a millionaire and you have the ability to be a billionaire. But because you've robbed Peter to pay Paul so bad, and that's the only way that baby will operate. I'm telling you, that is the only way that child, even when money comes into that child's hand, that is the only way he will operate. If you give him $1 million, he spent 10. And then he spends the rest of the time trying to gather up the 9 mil from everybody else, and I'm going to pay you back. And of course, it never happens. So this is the space and place when we look at what this brother said, while we talk about coming into the newness. And I'm not trying to beat anybody down, because some people are actually imitating the behavior of what they've seen and what they've been raised in. I get it. But there is a place and a space where we've got to start changing our behaviors. And we've got to, you're still getting rid of those folks, Michelle Brown. Still getting, and listen, they know who to go to. They know who to go to, and they know who to hook up. So at the end of the day, this is a space and place that the Black community is going to have to take issue with and say, we've got to change how we manage or mismanage our finances, and what we have to do and how we have to do it, so that we can come into a different space and a different place with our finances. Because there's no point in saying they wouldn't let me when there's a lot of things we've had opportunities to do, but because we were poor managers with what we have done, we can't blame it on anybody. Nobody's fault but my own. That's what we used to sing back in the day. Nobody's fault but my own. If I should die, my soul be lost. Nobody. But listen, if I should stay poor and be broke and stay broke when God's given me opportunities. Now, the Bible said the poor you'll have with us always. But part of that is because there's always going to be a poverty mentality. There's always going to be poverty behaviors. Anyway, enough of that. So I want to share, and I want to say that, and I'm going to show one last. Let me see this one. I put this one in on over the weekend. Let me see. I don't even remember what this one's about, but let it roll.
Positive will ever occur in a community that fails to circulate its dollars. I mean, the data's there. No group circulates the dollars more so than East Indians, Arab Americans. The average dollar stays in their community 45 days before leaving. Number 2, Asian Americans. The average dollar stays in the Asian community 24 days before leaving. Number 3, Jewish Americans. The average dollar stays in the Jewish community 17 to 19 days before leaving. The average dollar today stays in the Black community 6 hours before leaving. But it wasn't always like that. The average dollar in 1921, Tulsa, Oklahoma, those 3,600 square blocks, stayed in that community 18 months to 2 years before leaving. Nothing positive will ever occur in a community that fails to circulate its dollars. I mean, the data's there. No group circulates the dollars more so than East Indians, Arab Americans. The average dollar stays in their community 45 days before leaving. Number 2, Asian Americans. The average dollar stays in the Asian community 24 days before leaving. Number 3, Jewish Americans. The average dollar stays in the Jewish community 17 to 19 days before leaving. The average dollar today stays in the Black community 6 hours before leaving. But it wasn't always like that. The average dollar in 1921, Tulsa, Oklahoma, those 3,600 square blocks, stayed in that community 18 months to 2 years before leaving. Nothing positive will ever occur in a community that fails to circulate its dollars. I mean, the data's there. No group circulates the dollars more so than East Indians, Arab Americans. The average dollar stays in their community 45 days before leaving. Number 2, Asian Americans. The average dollar stays in the Asian community 24 days before leaving. Number 3, Jewish Americans. The average dollar stays in the Jewish community 17 to 19 days before leaving. The average dollar today stays in the Black community 6 hours before leaving. But it wasn't always like that. The average dollar in 1921, Tulsa, Oklahoma, those 3,600 square blocks, stayed in that community 18 months to 2 years before leaving. Nothing.
Now, this, I'm going to address that. Good morning, Crystal Method. Come on in here. So much mad love to you. It's good to see you this morning. 6 hours currently. But notice this Bronx Harlem girl, when he identified, and y'all wonder why was the Tulsa massacre so important? 18 to 24 months, the dollar was staying in that black community. Do you hear? I want you to understand, and I want you to hear this. Life lessons for life right now, Cassandra. 18 to 24 months, the black dollar was staying in that black community, which meant the white merchants in the surrounding areas were not benefiting from those black dollars. It was all black business, Bronx Harlem girl. That's all they did. That meant that the white merchants in that area were not benefiting from the black dollar at all. And so it became necessary, 1.5 to 2 years, Joanna G, now to a reduced 6 hours. 6 hours. Can you understand? And this is why I talk to black folks, and I appreciate everybody that's here, but I'm talking to black folks especially. Understand the dynamics of the situation. Because we will not unite, because we will not rebuild economic base in the black community. And I don't care, I'm sick and tired. Why we gotta come out and be separated? Why we gotta come out and be different? Ain't nobody saying that to the Jewish community. Nobody's saying that to the Asian community. And the Asian community is making a lot of money off of black folks. We spend a lot of black dollars in the Asian community, but they're not spending their dollars in the black community. They keep their dollars in their community. All of those individuals that he named in those groups, they understand the power of what it means to keep that money in your community so that you can thrive and survive as a community. But then when we get to black folks, y'all want to start talking about why we got to be separated and why because at the end of the day, we need the black infrastructure built. And as the brother said in the other video, ain't nobody coming to help us. Ain't nobody coming to rescue us. Ain't nobody coming to fix us and make it right. Ain't nobody. We have to save ourselves. We free us. That's what I was trying. We free us. While you sitting up waiting on everybody else. And don't let these people keep putting this bug in your ear. We as a black community will overcompensate to make it look like and sound like we're not trying to be separatists. I'm not trying to be separated either, but at the end of the day, ain't nobody bringing no money into the black community, but we're the main consumer and the main spender that the merchant is out here advertising and targeting. We've got to understand that if we do not begin to harness our own dollars, if we do not begin to create merchants and we do not become consumers of what the merchandise is that we're putting out there, we will never build an economic base in the black community because nobody else is going to do it for us. Come on. So listen, the money never had to leave at all. We're rebuilding Black Wall Street. Come on. I want you to understand, DJ Roll'em 27 is in the room. The mindset has to change in order for that to happen. If we can do that, then we will succeed as a race. You better talk in here, DJ Roll'em. But do you not understand and see the dynamic of that? And that is as clear as day. From 18 to 24 months, you can understand why it got bombed. I'm calling a spade a spade. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. For 18 to 24 months, those dollars never came out of that black community. Do you understand why it got bombed? I say this about Martin Luther King, and y'all ain't ready for me. It was not in my opinion, as long as he was talking about equal rights for black folks and that, let him march, call him Coon King, call him every name under the sun, talk about him like he's a dog, it don't matter. But when he started dealing with the economic base in the poor people's campaign and he started talking about, show me the money, they said, oh, that man got to die. Too much influence, too much of what he's saying that's right. When it starts coming to economic base and changing the trajectory, he got to go. I want y'all to understand at the end of the day, in this country, it's going 99 and 100% of the time revolve around money. That's what they're concerned about. And until, as DJ Rollum said, we change our mindset. Oh, I'm talking real good in here, whether y'all ready or not. I know my calling. And so I'm not confused or deceived on that point. I know my calling and I know what I'm talking about. Until we change our mindset and our energy in that place and in that space, we're going to continue to have this struggle. I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. Now, when you start talking about changing mindsets, I'm going to close out because I want to come here because there is this time of healing. It's 8:51, so I got 10 minutes. Dimples, come on, we talking in here. There is a situation where all of this is concerned because I started to look and I began to identify what is at the root with where and how we just keep staying stuck. And I'm going to purport that a lot of it has to do where we are mentally and emotionally. I want to roll this. It has no sound. This is the post that I did this morning because I began to realize. Come on here, Bronx Harlem girl. We talking truth in here. I began to realize that there's so many things.
Thank you for the sub.
Man,
We're building something.
68. That's my brother. Come on in here. Thank you for the resub. We're building something. 29 months in a row. I appreciate you. Now, this is where I want to really address so many areas. And you may say, but spiritual thought leader, there's a big, big leap between what you've been talking about and where you're getting ready to go right here. But listen, I contend that until we start healing the child that's on the inside of us, until we start dealing with the wounded areas inside of us, we're going to keep on, here we go around the mulberry bush. I want us to come to a place of understanding we have got to heal the child. It's powerful, DJ Rollum. It's powerful. To my brothers and my sisters, those places of trauma, those places of pain, those areas, and listen, we as a black community, we wake up traumatized. We live the entire day traumatized. We eat, sleep, walk, talk trauma from childhood. Whether that trauma is happening in the home, whether that trauma is happening on the job, whether that trauma is happening in some segment and area of life, that little child that's been traumatized, we can talk a good talk, we can talk a good game, but if that child, if that baby, if that child within us is still traumatized and high functioning depression, we need to talk about it, children. Because some of us are very high functioning, but high functioning Depression is exhausting. Crying is a cleansing. Come on here, Cassandra. And some of us, we insist on continuing to function at the highest of levels, depressed, tore up, traumatized. That little baby, that little child, that little teenager, wherever you want to pick up that child within, that little adolescent, traumatized. And we try to embrace all of these things. That inner child needs work, Bronx Harlem girl. That inner child needs work. And I'm going to pause for the cause and stick a pin in it right here, because all of the things that we love to keep having these conversations surrounding and about, we cannot have the progress that we want to have until we stop. There are PhDs with a broken child. There are MDivs and pastors with a broken child. Are y'all understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth? There are CEOs with a broken child. There are people on the streets with a broken child. Many of our drug addicts and winos are nothing more and nothing less than a broken child. Folks that just keep pushing and pretending and sweeping it under the rug and struggling, and we just keep recycling that brokenness, main man. We just keep recycling that brokenness, and we teach it to our children, the brokenness, and we teach it to our children's children, the brokenness, and we talk about it in church, the brokenness, and we just keep perpetuating the brokenness. Because we've learned how to live high functioning with depression. Am I talking to anybody in here? And this part, I had to put on the brakes because we love to have all of these other things operating in our world. We would love to have all of these other realities that we would love it. And we want it. But we got to deal with that broken child. Come on in here, Retta Divine. It's more better with Retta. Come on, main man. We got to deal with the brokenness. You cannot just skate over the top of it like it does not exist. You cannot ignore that child anymore. Yes, what I said to you is true. We are influencers. Yes, I need you to throw down your rod. I need you to cast it down and watch God turn it and transform it into something. I need you to do all of those things that we talk about here on a daily. But I need you more than anything to heal that inner child. Heal him. Heal her. Am I talking to anybody in here? All of that other stuff, that is superficial. That is on the surface. I need you to get down to what really matters. It's not whether or not we have all of the economic base in the black community. It's not whether or not we can come out of poverty, whether we have equity, whether we have diversity, whether we have equal. All of those things, yes, we need all of that, but I need you to first and foremost understand, I need you to heal that inner child. That's the the greatest, and that's the greatest thing that you have, the greatest wealth that you possess. The money can't buy it. Do you understand? A house, a mansion can't fix it. All the money and the status in the world. You got to heal that little child. Woo! Am I talking to anybody? It's worth it. It's worth. That is the value that means the most. Y'all out here trying to get friends. You're out here trying to get prestige. You're out here trying to get somebody to shine a light on you. You're out here trying to do all of these things, but your inner child is still tore up from the floor up. Am I talking to anybody? To heal is the real deal. Heal yourself so you can be of help and healing to others. Come on, main man, you better help me preach in here. I need us to understand what is of greatest value. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose your soul? I'm not talking about you going to hell. I'm talking about the very essence and the core of your soul. If you get all of this stuff and you have all of these things and you got all of these people, but you lose your soul. I'm telling you, that little child, that's your soul. Except you become as a little child. That little child is your soul. That little child. That is the definition of Bronx Harlem girl of depression, anger turned inwards. That little child is angry. Why, Bronx Harlem girl? Because we've ignored that little child. We've abused that little child. We've neglected that little child. We've talked about that little child and let other people talk about that little child and done nothing, said nothing, done very little to heal that little child. Oh, but there's a balm in Gilead. Woo! Yeah! I feel something. It's becoming increasingly apparent that there are no healed souls in our leadership. Come on, you better talk, main man. And listen, if the blind lead the blind, everybody's going to the ditch. Don't you deceive yourself that just because the pastor's in leadership, don't you deceive yourselves that just because you got leaders in government, don't you deceive yourself that just because they're in leadership that they're healed, because many of them, if not most of them, are not healed. And that little child is still crying out. See me, help me, heal me. And that's where we get the behaviors that become destructive. That's where we get the things that are detrimental to us. That right there, beloved, is where it breaks down. Come on in here, Dimples. That's where it breaks down. It's that little child screaming, hollering, crying. Come on, Duckling. So much love to you. Welcome. Do y'all see those pictures? Because that's the empowerment today. I want you to see and understand that except we go back and get those inner children, that's us. Thank you for following Lively's. Come on in here, Duckling. These pictures are so powerful. These pictures are so on point. These pictures speak 1,000 words. Eba. Woo. I'm waking up lions in here. Y'all understand what I'm saying? I understand the assignment. I'm not playing with this thing. I mean this thing with everything that's in me. And when you look at this, I want you to look in the mirror of your soul. And I want you to look hard and long at your inner child. And while you're doing and acting and being all of these things to all of these people and for all of these purposes and for all of these causes, I want you to do introspection, and I want you to ask yourself, is my child healed? Come on. Is my child healed? I'm not looking at anybody else. I don't have one iota of judgment to pass on somebody else. I got heart sick. Is my inner child healed? Because if it's not, all the rest of this stuff, can I tell you, it's going to keep derailing. Oh, we may get so far along, but I'm telling you, there's nothing like inner wholeness. There's nothing like inner wholeness. Another person can't make you whole. Y'all run around looking for relationships and that. I don't have a problem with that. But at the end of the day, listen, a whole, let me back up and say, like I used to tell the people when I would do marital counseling, premarital counseling, 2 halves don't make a whole. 2 halves sometimes will make you less than a half. I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. 2 halves don't make a whole in relationship when you got broken up and torn up people. 2 halves may actually leave you with less than you started with. Can I say it one more time? 2 halves don't make a whole in relationship. 2 halves can actually leave you in a deficit and have less than a half on both sides. Because listen, hurt people hurt people. I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. Hurt people hurt people. And it may start off a honeymoon, but baby, you wake up in a nightmare. Been there, done that, but delivered. Start off in a honeymoon and wake up in a nightmare. I'm talking in here. Whether it's friends, loved ones, significant other, baby, I need you to ask yourself, honey 41, nothing but mad love to you. It's good to see you this morning. We're getting ready to get out of here. I know my time is up. Uh-oh, done ran over. But I'm so serious about this. I don't want you high functioning in depression. I don't want you to be a person of high functioning depression. Come on, honey. I love me some you. Thank you for coming out alert. That's not what I want for you babies. Honey, it's a nightmare on Dream Street because it was all a dream, but it was really a nightmare. You better talk to me, Cassandra. So I want us, honey, when it's a rotten piece of fruit, baby, please. I want us to understand the power that is us. Not that we have. The power is us. The power is us. I most certainly will, Bronx Harlem girl. The power is us. You are the power. You are the energy. You are the pure energy. One of the emotes. Pure energy. Pure energy. But the only thing that blocks that energy when your soul is not whole, and I'm talking about that inner child, when your soul is not whole, that inner child is broken, baby, you got to go back and heal it. And somebody might say, honey, I done healed my broken child. Honey, I'm looking at some behaviors that say that baby ain't whole. I'm looking at some mindsets that say that baby ain't whole. I'm looking at some situations that telling me that baby ain't whole. On the road to healing, yes. Making a lot of progress, yes. But that baby ain't whole. I love y'all. And I want and believe that we are the people that's going to make this change. And we're ready to come into the fullness of who we are. But listen, I'm going to keep encouraging you all week long. Ooh, if that's not powerful right there. Flying on broken wings, Bronx Harlem girl. Out here flying, trying to fly on broken wings. That's where I'm going to leave y'all today. Because I'm intentional. Ain't trying to make friends. Not trying to lose friends. But friendship is not my visual. It's not my focus. It's not my goal. My goal is to be intentional about my assignment. And that's to wake up lions. To wake up lions. That's my call. That's my ministry. That's my vision and my passion. Waking up lions. But I'm not going to tell you to wake up and leave yourself in a state of brokenness. Not going to do it. I'm not going to tell you to fly on broken wings. I'm not going to ask you to do that. I want you to be whole in every way possible. Body, mind, soul, spirit, emotions, finances. I want it all. Wilt thou be made whole? Come on, main man. I love me some you. Wilt thou be made whole? Or you just gonna settle for this piece, that piece, and another piece? I want you completely. When the Bible says every whit whole, that means completely whole. Completely whole. I want every part of you healed. And healing is in the room. Come on here. Healing is here for you. Come on, Dimples. I love me some you. Something as simple as freemomhugs.org. There's healing. Some of us need to just say, I need a hug. I need human touch. I need to not be isolated in a world watching everybody else live while I'm just over here. But even as you look on the outer appearance, I need you to look inward. And who can hug your inner child but you? Come on, Retta. Some of us really do. Some of us need human touch. Just that simple thing. I need human. And I'm not talking about sexual. I'm just so sick that we make everything sexual. At the end of the day, intimacy has nothing to do with being sexual if you just got two folks being sexual. I'm talking about intimacy. I'm talking about reality where touch makes a difference. Where touch is genuine. Where I'm not touching you to get a certain response in a touch back. Can I say this? Because even that, and I have to break some things down. There are people that operate based on what they want back. Hear me. And what are you saying, spiritual thought leader? Sometimes the people that love you don't love you. They're loving you because of what they are anticipating in you loving them back. So it's really a twisted, I want you to love me and it's really about me, but I'm going to make it look like it's about you when it's really about them. Somebody needs to follow that. Let me say it one more time. There's some folks that are saying they love you, and it's really not that they love you, they love themselves. But they love you based on the love they're anticipating getting back from you, which is really to feed themselves. So they push off the appearance that they're loving you when the whole agenda is really about the love they want in return. So at the end of the day, it's really not about you, it's really about themselves. But they manifest it in a way to make it look like they're giving you something for you, but it's really about what they plan to get back from you in return. That's the only thing. And when you do not manifest the love that they want back in return, they're going to move on to somebody else. I promise you. Oh, it's a whole lot of that going around, Michelle. It's a hidden agenda. It purports itself and dresses itself as if it's for you, but it's really selfishly intended because it's all about what I'm going to get back. That's the only, and when I ain't getting it back like I want it, next. I'm talking real talk in here this morning. Don't you be deceived. It's an ulterior motive, Shelly. It's an ulterior motive the whole time. And we get caught up in it. We get sucked into it. You better go for the real deal. And you better go for the real thing. And when I talk about touch, and this is some real talk right here. For those that are doing, give it away for free. They don't owe you nothing. Not to be confused with gratitude, because ingratitude can be one of the most hurtful things that you can experience. But again, at the end of the day, I gave it because I wanted to. Ain't nothing, you don't owe me a thing. Keep it moving. And if your heart has enough ingratitude to not say thank you and express gratitude, that's on you. That's not on me. But I gave it out of pureness. So this is where I want us to get to a point where at the end of the day, touch, recognize people need touch. People need a phone call. People need love. Am I talking to anybody? Don't give that stuff with strings attached and try to play a game. Some folks done counted up all your coins in your pocketbook. Anyway, y'all understand what I'm saying? Until we heal that child, however, we'll reach out and grab for anything and everything. Now, that being said, I'm on assignment, y'all. Heal that inner child. Please do it. Because that's your soul. What is it going to profit you to gain all this in the world and lose your soul? With that, we getting up out of here. Won't be this way always. Come on, honey, 41. I love me some you. Thank you. Listen, this has been another edition of Yes You O-Cube. What does the O-Cube stand for? One-on-one. Because it's just me and you. I am the spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm so glad that you joined me on this fine day. Now listen, I want you to cast your rod. Cast it out there, people. I don't care how simple it may seem to you. I don't care how insignificant it may seem to you. God will transform it. And you don't have to worry about the copycatters. You don't have to worry about the imitators. Because I promise you, your rod will swallow up those other rods. Matter of fact, don't even pay no attention to that. Just do what you do and shine from the inside. And you won't have to tell somebody to shine the light on you from the outside. Now listen, as my moderators say, everyone have an amazing day on purpose. I want you to do what you love what you do. Now come on in here. I thank you for that roaring hype train that you all gave earlier. Thank you, because I could not build this without you. I want to say thank you to my moderators, Michelle Browno, Shelly Thunder, and the Rebel Inc. I want to thank you for everybody that resubbed. I want to thank you for the gifted subs. I want to thank everybody that's up in here and every roaring bitty that you gave to help build this vision. I thank you to the new people that joined on today. Welcome to the Lion's Den. Come appreciate my sister Regina Sims for this beautiful song. Won't be this way always. Please believe it. I want you to know it for sure. It will not be this way always. Every last one of you, you're welcome, and I love you, and you are most welcome. Now listen, we getting ready to get up out of here, but at the end of the day, I want you to ride this rain train because we're going somewhere. We absolutely positively are, and come ride with us. We will do you good. Now, as I say always, this is the spiritual thought leader reminding you that you have a date with destiny. Go to bed with your vision, sleep with your dreams, and wake up with your baby called Promise. Peace for your journey.